And while that's an appropriate application here, notice, Lord, you have been, what's the next word? Our. That's plural. That's putting us into a particular setting, company of people, a community of faith, so that it's possible that any one of us would say at any point in time, Lord, I have ignored you for a while, you've been out of the picture, and now I come home. The gospel song says, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Never more to Rome. I'm coming home. But there's something also to be said for a group of people doing that. So that in unison, the collective prayer is this: Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. So as we look at the psalm, we're going to look at two major things about this psalm that are communicated to us. Number one, something about God. Something about God. Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, wherever you heard that had formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. Number one is the eternal nature of God. The eternity of God, that He is from everlasting to everlasting. You ever go to find a friend and you say, well, you know, I lost contact with this person, and then you try to make contact, and maybe you're successful, but maybe you actually find out that person doesn't live there anymore. That's an old address. That's an old phone number. That's an old email. Well, then you begin to wonder, does that person even exist anymore? You and I can rest assured that when we turn back to God, He's there. He's there. He's always been there. You are our dwelling place. You are our shelter. You are our refuge. You are our mandate. You are there. Where we go and where we seek out peace and security, that's the Lord God. Even from everlasting to everlasting. We have 4 cemeteries at the intersection of Frankfort Avenue and Cheltenham Avenue. You can walk through there, look at the tombstones. Some of them declare great faith in God. Great faith in God. Some of them say some wonderful things about the Lord God. There in the cemetery. But there is the second thing that's in this psalm in comparison to the eternity of God. It's the frailty of man. Verse number 3. You turn man to destruction. You say, return, O children of men. For 1,000 years in your sight are like yesterday when it is past, and like a watch in the night. You carry them away like a flood. They are like a sleep. In the morning they are like grass which grows up. In the morning it flourishes and grows up. In the evening it is cut down and withers. For we have been consumed by your anger, and by your wrath we are terrified. You have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your countenance. For all our days have passed away in your wrath, and we finish our years like a what? Sigh. Like a sigh. Mm-hmm. Here today, gone tomorrow. That's short. So what I have down my basement, I have a box. 'box. 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 emergency birthday box. In my emergency birthday box, there are candles, there are hats, there are these noise makers, you know, and there's this banner that says happy birthday. So invariably somebody's in our house, and then it comes out, you know what, today's my birthday. I said, excuse me, I go down the basement, I get the box. You remember Joel Spinney? Yeah. When he was here, he had a birthday, you know, and he just happened to mention that, so kind of, today's my birthday, right? Did we knock his socks off? The candle and whatever was there. It's an emergency birthday box, okay. But you know that when you're young, you look forward to your birthday. Isn't that right? And you don't mind the question, how old are you? You don't mind that question. Later on, you see your birthday coming, and you feel good about the fact that it's your birthday, but you sure don't want anybody to ask you how old you are. You don't even want to know yourself. You start to lose track. You ask your mate, how old am I? Right? You pull out your birth certificate, you check it. Sure, that's not right. That's not right. What is that? Okay. Back to the scene of the psalm, it's true that verse 10, the days of our lives are 70 years, and if by reason of strength they are 80 years, yet their boast is only labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off and we fly away. I said to Justin Hunter the other day that I was talking to a lady who's 110. And I mentioned a person, I said it was just like talking to so-and-so. It wasn't 110. Yeah. And then I found myself saying that she had a son that was 20-something, you know. And Justin did rightly, I mean, he had his calculator with him. And he said, that's not possible. Well, I said, and I'm starting to think, no, that isn't possible. Right? So, you may or may not know this, but I've been doing chaplaincy work for a hospice agency. And it's been ministry. And it's been good. And I'm thankful for it. But in the computer there, the default button, if you don't know the age, prints out automatically 110. Because I went up to me, I said, is this lady 110? And he said, no, that's the default. It's like the zip code. Oh, okay. Moses is writing this, and the gist there is this: that all the men of war, 20 to 40, they will die. That generation will die. And all of them will come within 10 years, one way or another, of the 70-year average. This generation will die. And it's a fair application for us to make in our own scene. That whether we pass that line or what, we know eventually that we will die. And here's the thing. The Lord God is our dwelling place. He's our dwelling place. And He's always there, and He's not aging. Always there.